Alright, all you virus-protecting RPG gamers out there, welcome back to the Indy Radio Arcade. And for those wondering at home, yes, we will be reviewing the entire Bad Boy series throughout the remaining weeks of this summer and heading directly into September. I think, as a matter of fact, the last part of the Bad Boy series will be reviewed just 2 days before the end of the summer. Nice! But speaking of sequels, folks, I think it's time for us to go into another edition of the Instant Classic Video Game Review, and the game we have up on the plate is none other than The Division 2. And the reason why we paused there for a second, because this game, with the review we're gonna give, technically breaks our rules of the fact of reviewing sequels before we review the original version of the game, but seeing the fact that we couldn't find the original version, yeah, we had to go with the sequel. And plus, we were able to get it on sale too. Nice! And the meat and potatoes of this said game is several years after the green virus outbreak that would take place in the world of New York City. The virus would slowly but surely make its way to Washington, D.C., and the SHID network that originally kept everything together would go dark and would require you, insert name here, to work alongside with the JTF with the SHID network that's still online to not only find the President of the United States, restore order to Washington, and to also find the ultimate cure for the green poison. And with those meat and potatoes out of the way as best as we could to not spoil the game experience for you fans at home, what did we like about this game? Well, for starters, it's a game that involves you with a multitude of weapons that you can use and upgrade at a moment's notice, and mix and match parts to try to make the weapons just a little bit better in the world of Division 2. And another thing that I loved about this game, it's a game that also is an RPG with weapons. Something that I wanted for a long period of time but never could really see in the world of RPG games, which is nice. Also, besides that, folks, the fact that you get a chance to run through open streets and take on enemies at a moment's notice with no loading screens to kick things off, and the fact that you can fast travel from point to point and have other people on the street like NPCs help you out if they're close to take over bases, another thing that I liked about the game. And before I forget, another thing that we liked about this game was the different classes that you get a chance to be in this game. Not only a class with a crossbow, a grenade launcher, a minigun, a flamethrower, and I do believe a anti-tank rifle that you can use to take out enemies, along with the smaller classes in the game that has you with a shield, a robot that can follow you around to take out enemies from above, and even a class that allows you to use an EMP to take out enemies and stop them from firing on you to help you get an advantage over the other people in the game, which is nice. And for you PvP fans out there, even though I haven't been there but once or twice, they also included a dark zone that you can go to, that you can fight against people for weapons and other goods that are just a little bit rarer, if that's a word, in the world of Division 2 at certain hours of the day and night. And with everything that I liked about this game, including the different bases you get a chance to help along the way, and even the different set of missions and bosses that you can fight at a moment's notice on the streets, what didn't I like about this game? Well, for one, the fact that it's an online game that sometimes the servers may work or may not work at a moment's notice. And even more deeper into that, another thing that I didn't like about this game would have to be the download size for it being well over 100 gigs for you to actually install on your said systems. Now, I understand the reason why in the world they decided to do this, because it's a giant oversized world, including the DLCs, and of course the Warlords of New York that they included for this DLC as well. But at the same time, yeah, that's a lot of space off your hard drive just to play this game. Another thing that I didn't like about this game had to have been the fact that you couldn't call upon the NPCs in regular missions to help you out during missions if you didn't have any friends to play alongside with you. Like, for example, if you're doing one of the main story missions for this game and you could get some backup to help you along the way from the bases that you saved, really wish that you can actually call upon them with a signal flare or a walkie-talkie radio signal so you can have them join you as a part of the fight. Really wish that was a thing that they could have included for the main portion of the game. And speaking of things that I wish they included in the main portion of the game, for those who did notice, there's a bit of a level cap in the game, and unless you get the Warlords of New York DLC, which was just about $30, yeah, you cap out at about 500 for your armor bonus. So I wish they actually had a chance for you to have a separate level cap that you can actually boost your level up to further play this game without you running into a brick wall once you defeat everything with all the classes that you have. And oh yeah, forgot to mention, and thank you for reminding me, Maestro, another thing we liked about this game was the fact that you can hunt down bounties once you beat the main portion of the game. So there is endgame content for a couple of you fans out there. And with everything that we liked and didn't like about this game, what do I think they could do to improve upon it? Well, besides giving you a chance to actually boost up your levels to level 40 like everybody else who also has the New York DLC, maybe, just maybe, a chance for you to call NPCs to help you out at will, or at least call upon a couple of the soldiers you saved from a base to follow you into certain buildings for backup, just in case you need it. And another thing I wish they could include is a chance for you to actually boost up your inventory space in the world of Division past 300. Now, I know a couple of you out there are saying 300 sounds like a lot, but trust me, after finding certain rare weapons on the street, 300 will seem like a very small number once you reach the level of well over 500 for your armor boost rating that is involved in this game if you didn't get the New York DLC. And seeing the fact that we don't know how to review games along the lines of gold stars, coins, letters, or bricks, we review games in only two ways, folks. Will there be a video game story in the near future for this game? And do we recommend this game for you, the RPG shooting fan at home, trying to prevent people from catching a very dangerous disease? And to answer that first question, 2 words, folks: next week. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, next week we will have a video game story featured for this video game that involves us doing an Australian accent, hunting down people like the crocodile hunter. And I'm not kidding when I say that, folks, and I got a feeling it's gonna be a pretty funny video game story for this summer of RPG. And do we recommend this game for you, the RPG shooter at home? Well, if you want to play a game that you get a chance to go online with your friends or by yourself, all to try to restore order to a world that has gone completely to hell thanks to a green poison virus that involves you taking on outlaws, hyenas, and other people along the way with sometimes heavily armored suits, all to try to take you out from restoring a robot that reminds me of something from Sal from the world of Space Odyssey 2001, with a litany list of shotguns, LMGs, sniper rifles, and any weapons you can find on the ground, then I recommend you go out there and cop that disc. And I guess with that said, we might as well head back into the music, and when we return, we'll be back with another edition of the Indy Wall of Fame right after a word from our sponsors. So don't run out of quarters just yet, folks, and stay tuned.